because effectively, you know, you blow in the small end, you move your fingers around, and it makes a sound. Hi there, welcome to today's vlog, and I am absolutely thrilled to be launching today my very first ebook, Dan's Long Tones Volume 1, Make Your Sax Sing. Here's the very trendy cover, shot in Paris. Thank you, the Continentalist, who took those photographs just by the Paris Metro. It was about 32 degrees that morning. It certainly doesn't feel 32 degrees in the middle of November in Cambridgeshire right now. It's very cold, and a great way, though, to deal with the cold temperatures, or the warm temperatures, depending on where you are in the world, is to get through your long tones. Now, long tones are one of those things that a lot of saxophone players ignore, and one of the things I noticed over 20 years of teaching all over the world with different ensembles, especially when I'm teaching jazz ensembles, is that so often you will find the brass players at the back. Now, we never tell brass players this, by the way, but the brass players at the back often can't play as many notes as the saxophone players or the clarinet players on the front row. They can't kind of read as well as some of the saxophone players can, but so often the brass players have much better tones. They're much more rounded tones, and they project so much better. So often, because the saxophone players, we often skip over it, because effectively, you know, you blow in the small end, you move your fingers around, and it makes a sound. And we can often skip over the really important things that we need to do in order to make a sound. Now, we should do it, we just neglect to do it, because we can make a sound out of the saxophone by simply moving our fingers. We end up with a reasonable sound, you know, okay, but it's not the best sound we want. And so often, so many people come to me after playing for 3 or 4 years, and they're like, Dan, I hate my sound sucks, or how do I make my sound better? And they try tuners, they start changing mouthpieces, necks, saxophones, everything but do long tones. And what I'm trying to say to you is this book may save you an awful lot of money, because I promise you, if you're not happy with your current setup, you spend 6 months playing these exercises properly that are in the ebook. Come back to me in 6 months and see whether you really want to change your mouthpiece again, because I promise you, 98% of it will be you, and you need to spend more time doing long tones. Now, these long tone exercises are original Dan Forshaw long tone exercises. There's also some long tone exercises that Branford Marsalis gave me, that Eric Alexander's given me, and Chris Potter have given me over the years. So there's kind of there's a mix there of different things. And one of the things that everyone always says is they always start their practice with long tones. So, you know, no matter who I've come across, they're either starting with a ballad, a very slow thing, but they're always trying to focus on tone first, because to us as saxophone players, in fact, hell, to musicians, tone is everything. Your sound is so important. And what you want to be able to do, I think the greatest compliment, especially in jazz, you can pay to a player is they have their own sound. They sound like themselves. You know, you can hear 2 bars of, or 1 bar, 2 notes, hell, of Stan Getz, and know it's Stan Getz. A note of Trane, and you know it's Trane. Sonny Rollins plays one other way, and that's what you want to be able to do. You want to be able to have their accent, as it were, their kind of thing, but in order to do that, you've got to have control over the instrument. In order to get control over the instrument, you've got to play long tones. And yeah, there you go. I hope I've given you enough of a sales pitch there. It's down below. It's at a very low price. I think it's under $10 for you this week. It's going to creep up a little bit next week. There's also the practice planner down there. That's a physical book. Let me know if you'd like the practice planner as an ebook. I'm umming and ahhing whether I do or not, because I still have quite a few physical copies left, but it takes a long time to get books to Mexico and South America and everything else like that where people have asked them for. So maybe we'll get to a point where I need to find the file as well. But I need to get on with my practice now.
One, two, three, four.
One of the comments I'm least proud of that I've made in my career, and there have been many, but one of them was years ago, about 20 years ago, 18, 19 years ago, making a comment about a guy who played a lot of trad jazz, a guy called Bill, who I owe a lot to. Bill gave me a lot of opportunities as I was growing up, and I said to his daughter once, yeah, but I play real jazz. There's nothing wrong with that New Orleans stuff. It's fantastic. I remember vividly being at the Barbican in March. Branford played St. Louis Blues, brought the house down, and there's just great melodies. They're still being played 80, 90 years later, and they're still having that amazing effect. You know it's a great song, and I just think they sound fantastic. This New Orleans stuff, if you can get it, well, I'm trying to get it right anyway, on the soprano, just kind of zings through, doesn't it? And it does. I mean, not playing a whole set of that sort of stuff, obviously that's not what I'm advocating, but certainly now and again throwing your audience some bones to you know, tap the foot along to, or that they know, or that you can really pay homage to the tradition of jazz. And of course, the long tones make a difference in that, kind of working your way through different things. Soprano is something I spent a lot of time playing a lot of long tones on. It's a very unforgiving mistress if you don't do your long tones as soprano, which is why often I don't advocate people who are beginners taking it up. Anyway, that's all we've got time for today. Please do order that book now, order that ebook now, because the price is going to change after the weekend. So you've got like 2 to 3 days before the price will go up slightly. So order it now if you can. Let me know your comments, and I'm already thinking about what's going to be in volume 2 for you. And let me know if there's any other ebooks you'd like. I don't really want to be doing a lot of kind of like 2.5 stuff and all that stuff. You can find that on the Cambridge Saxophone website, which if you haven't already visited, what have you been doing? You can get 4 free saxophone lessons there. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below. Check out my vlog from this time last year. Check out this one, and tomorrow, Saturday, or whenever you're watching this, very, very special video coming out. It's not a vlog, it's the video I went and made in June about my grandpa's Second World War. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you really soon. Bye bye.